accountant with my back office coach. Welcome to I Eat Bookkeeping for Breakfast. And today we're doing a Q&A with Patrice Korson from Korson Creative. So welcome, Patrice.
Thank you, Candy.
Yep, glad you're here.
Me too.
So first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and Korson Creative and what you do?
Okay. My business is Korson Creative. I'm based in Lake Leelanau, Michigan. I am a graphic designer. I do screen printing on textiles like t-shirts, sweatshirts, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do promotional products and some marketing for a couple different organizations. This is a small community, so most of my clients are local, schools and small businesses. And it's just me. I'm a one-man show. I kind of do everything here, which is a lot. I mean, a lot. It's
Right.
stressful because I have a hard time, especially being an artistic type. I'm not super organized when it comes to the bookkeeping and stuff. So any insight you have, I will really appreciate.
Okay, awesome. So tell me what your big question is for today.
Well, my big question for today is I'm confused as to how, as a small business owner, I pay myself, because my husband has a job, and fortunately he makes a living for our family. But when it comes to this business, I'm really just making ends meet, and I don't pay myself. I don't draw a paycheck, and I don't, I just don't know how to do that even. Do I?
Right.
It's just confusing to me because I haven't had the option yet to start paying myself, but I'd like to.
Okay.
Make money at what I'm doing.
Right, exactly. Okay, so a couple of questions for you about your business and how it's structured tax-wise. Are you a sole proprietor, a corporation, or an LLC? How do you have that set up?
I'm an LLC.
Okay, and so being an LLC, you have the option to file income taxes as a sole proprietor, so that it shows on your personal tax return. You do a Schedule C, or you file a corporate type tax return.
No, I do it with my personal taxes.
Okay, so you file a Schedule C along with your personal business tax,
yes.
personal
Yep, exactly.
tax return. All right, so here's how it works. Basically, when you're a sole proprietor, you take owner's draws. Okay, so you don't actually set up payroll for yourself unless you're going to hire someone. But since you're the owner, you don't set up and do payroll where you withhold all the taxes like a regular employer. So you basically write yourself a check for whatever amount you determine you're going to pay yourself. And so, to me, it makes most sense to do that, come up with an amount, and then do it regularly, whether it's every week or every 2 weeks, whether it's $100 or $500. But the kicker is once you figure that out, what your business can afford to pay you, anywhere from $50 to whatever, you need to account for the fact that you're going to have to pay tax on that income. Okay, so basically you're going to pay your tax by estimated tax payments. So if that makes sense, you figure out what the tax you're going to owe is to the IRS and to your state, and then you can either register online to pay it online, or you mail in a check. So, and it's quarterly. So it's a quarterly tax estimate that you're going to pay. And that will be based on whatever you decide you're paying yourself out of the business. And so the best way to determine what to pay yourself is what your cash flow is, and obviously you have to look at your income and expenses and decide what amount of money you've got to be able to pay yourself. Now, it doesn't have to be the same amount every week, but it's, to me, it just makes sense to pick a number and do it regularly.
Right.
But is that your front door?
It is.
Go ahead. That's okay.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
Okay. I want to hear the end of what you're saying.
Oh, okay. So let's see if I remember what I was saying. Okay, so once you decide the amount that you're going to pay yourself, then that's when you calculate those business taxes. So, I know what I was saying. So profit and loss, looking at your income and expenses, what you've got left over that you can afford to write yourself a check for keeping in mind that you're also going to have to make those estimated tax payments. Because one issue is, if you're showing a profit on your business when you do your Schedule C at the end of the year and you paid yourself money and you did not make those estimated tax payments throughout the year before that, before you filed your return, the IRS and the state of Michigan, for you, any state, they're not going to be happy because they wanted your money when you should have paid it in January or whatever, So you need to plan accordingly and make those estimated tax payments. And even if you don't know what it's going to be, what you're going to owe, even if you pay, $250, since you're new in business and you're new at paying yourself, if you pay $250 a quarter or $100 a quarter, at least you made the effort. And what they'll do is they'll look to the year before and they'll say, oh, well, she didn't owe tax the year before, so it's okay that she only paid $100 a quarter when she actually owed $300 a quarter.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
So, yeah, that's the bottom line. The really big determining factor is figuring out your cash flow and what you can pay yourself. So if there's not enough cash flow right now, you can look at it again at the beginning of the year and,
Right.
try to plan that out. But, you don't have to have it on any certain date. If you still can't afford to pay yourself in January, maybe in June, whatever,
Right.
whatever works for you.
So as of right now, if I'm not paying myself at all,
mm-hmm.
they're obviously not expecting me to pay any taxes because I haven't paid myself.
If you haven't made
Besides
money.
my sales tax. Right.
Right. Yep. You have your sales tax, totally separate issue. But the thing is in your business, you can still make money and not have paid yourself. So if your business is making money, like right now, even though you haven't paid yourself, if you look and you look at your income and your expenses and you've made $5,000 for this year, there are other things that could play into that if you purchase some big assets or if you have a home office that you're going to deduct on your tax return. So that can bring it down a little. So those are other factors. But generally speaking, if your business made $5,000, even if you didn't write yourself a check for $5,000, you need to make estimated payments.
Okay.
Now, like I said, in that first year, they'll look back a year and it won't be the end of the world because you didn't owe the year before. It'll be okay as long as you don't owe $100,000. You have made $100,000 in this year.
Right.
That's a whole different story.
I wish, right?
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice.
Yeah. So, does that answer your question?
It does.
Do you have
That's
any
very
other
helpful.
follow-up issues?
Yeah, because my first instinct was to just make a payroll and put myself on the payroll.
Right.
But that I haven't done that because I don't have a big cash flow yet, and I'm anticipating it, but I don't yet. So.
Right. Exactly. Yep. And that's the way it usually is when people are starting out. So.
Right.
But yep. Now, if you ever hire someone, that's a whole nother story.
Right.
You will still pay yourself as an owner's draw as long as you're filing as a sole proprietor on your personal tax returns.
Right.
The only way that will change is if you start filing as an S Corp or a C Corp LLC. That's when it would change how you pay yourself.
Right.
Or if you take on a partner. If you take on a partner, that's a whole nother story as well. But those are all questions for another day, right?
Yes, for sure. Well, I appreciate your insight.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And just to let everybody know, I do this every Wednesday at 3:15, hopefully when there's no technical issues. And next week, hopefully we'll have someone else on that is going to ask a great question and I will answer it. So thanks for showing up. We appreciate it. If you are watching this replay, please post in the comments. Let me know if you personally have any questions, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Candy.
Yep. Thanks, Patrice. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.